That's awesome. We could talk about that. That's awesome. All right, let's get a clap. Okay, I got one.
Yeah, okay, good.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen and everybody, welcome to another episode of Discombobulated. I'm always excited, but I am very excited to have Zach Noe Towers, one of my favorite people. I keep saying the name up front and you're supposed to save it, but I love you and I'm going to say it up front.
I love it.
And you have to listen to Zach Noe Towers After Hours. After Hours with Zach Noe Towers. I just told you I was going to get so nervous. After Hours with Zach Noe Towers on Sirius X. I am, and myself fucks up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Well, my buddy was saying the other day, he was like, "Oh, look at the." I saw a picture he took of a girl that because he does photos, and I just saw his on his Instagram, and we were hanging out. I go, "Oh, dude, that girl's beautiful." He goes, "Oh yeah," and I think she's single. He's like, "You can hang out." I go, "Oh, with all due respect." I don't think I could date her. He goes, well, that's not confidence. I go, no, that is confidence. I've met enough. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm saying that like, I'm not going to waste my time whenever I'm like, I feel like I'll just start off on like not being like, yeah, talk to her for me. And just being like, yeah, probably not. Because there are times I'm like, probably.
But okay, two paths here.
We're into it. Yeah, welcome, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me. She could be a nightmare.
She could be.
Or he could know that she loves funny guys.
Yeah.
He could maybe know one of her ex-partners that you are similar to.
Yes.
But I do like that you are protecting yourself from potential disaster, I guess.
And the only reason later he did say I was right because he showed me like her Instagram. He was like, she is like in a place that I wouldn't even be able to point out on like the globe.
Oh,
with
sure.
a guy in a pool.
On a yacht. Yeah,
in a pool that is like, it's like an infinity times 2. It's insane. Yeah.
So then
crazy.
your friend's a little bit insane for even pitching.
Yeah. Well, she's
just single.
But we're both such positive like lover. We're like, I love you. You love me. Like
sure.
He's like, I say I love you to a lot of my guy friends, but he's a dude that I'm like, we're extra like very sweet to each other. And we're like, don't say that. And after I said it, he was like, I get that. Yeah.
It's that whole, would you say this? Would you say that about me?
Oh, I've never heard that.
Oh my God. It's
I swear
a
to
huge
God,
thing. Would
no.
you say that about your best friend? Like you could never date her.
Oh.
You should, if you wouldn't say it about your friend, you should never say it about you.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I kind of see it like this. I've always seen it the reverse way, which probably makes me like fucked up in the head or something. But I was always like, I see that like, I would want to help somebody, but you never want to give that help like to yourself. Or like you'll say, I love you. And then someone gives you a compliment and you're like, no way.
Oh, but no, I'm actually off.
But I like thinking of it the other way. It's like that you would never talk like that because then it puts more onus on it to be like, you really shouldn't talk like that. But
no,
I don't hate negative talk about myself. I do think if it goes into cycles, I think that's bad, right?
I don't talk negatively about myself.
Ever.
Not if
Even
I notice
thoughts?
Thoughts pop in.
Yeah.
But I like surround them and then I dismiss them. I'm like, oh, this is a thought.
Really?
Yeah. This is the thing. I love myself so much. I've been saying I'm staunchly single because I'd rather spend time with myself than like some dude.
I just reached that. I just kind of started reaching that where like I would like, cause I would always be like, don't hang out with, don't message, don't call anybody. And then the night rolls around at the end and you're like, I'm a different, I'm smoking cigs and in the morning I don't smoke cigs. I'm a different, I'm like not, in the same day I can feel me
Night Bobby.
Night Bobby, different guy. But not like in a bad way, just like I have I've made all my 35,000 decisions and I'm out. And whenever I want to do that, I usually be like, I do. And then neither of you feel good. Sometimes it's fun, but neither of you feel good. And lately, I've just been like, just
Are we talking
don't.
about casual sex?
Well, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
What were we talking about?
No. Yeah, I was saying like the choice to spend time with myself versus going on a date with a random guy.
Yeah, and I guess that's right where I personally, I was just at a point, like I've kind of been in a hookup mode.
Yeah.
I've went on a couple dates and some of them have been bad. So there's just like, there's a couple friends that you're like, hey, let's safely do this. Like, I'm honest with you. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But even that, I just like was like, I'm kind of getting over that a little bit. Like I'm kind of just doing that. And like, I gave a girl my number the other day.
Oh.
And I haven't done that in forever, but she was like, she just had a way about her. And I was just like, hey, I don't do this. Can I give you my number? And so then you don't have to message me, but you have my number.
Balls in her court.
Yeah. But then she messaged me, and whenever someone's like, is it a red flag if someone's email pops up? Like if they're,
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I don't know why.
And it's
but
not a bad email. It's like a fine email.
I don't like it. I don't
when
like
it's like
it.
you're like at Gmail. I'm like,
No.
Are you writing this off or why is this going to your? Why is this on your
This is
drive?
so funny because I guess
Yes, dude, I'm so happy to be here.
It feels like either they're a boomer or I'm a boomer.
Yeah.
Like something's not right with this exchange. Yeah, it throws me.
It does throw
And
you.
it also feels like there's like they're keeping like another layer between the two of you.
Sure.
Like your business hours,
Right.
Bobby, and then
Yeah.
someone else's night, Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I just don't want, I was just kind of like, I don't want to do that. And I'm not even looking for a relationship. I'm kind of just like realizing that like I'm fine by myself. And it's like, yeah, sure, love yourself or any of that stuff. But like just being by myself and trying to like be like, this is fine. Like I had plans the other night and because I was like, I didn't have enough money. I want to go see my friends. But I was like, I don't think I can make it tonight. I told him maybe anyway. And I was going to be like, you should go. And then I just said, I was like, I can't come. And I let him know I wasn't like an asshole. I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I felt like I won like a scratch off. I felt like I won $20 on a scratch up. I loved it. I told my buddy, I was like, and I also left a party without hugging everybody and saying goodbye. And it felt like sneaking into heaven. It felt like you like got underneath the fence. It felt so good.
Irish goodbyes. Love.
Yeah.
This is the problem. If you say goodbye, you've added half an hour onto the event.
And then and plans. And then you're like,
I'll call you with brunch on the
I'll see you in 2 hours. Yeah, it's like late at this party. Yeah, let's get breakfast.
Also, this could be Los Angelinos love to cancel plans. It's one of our top favorite activities.
I feel a little special because I honestly, no one's really canceled.
No one canceled. That's great.
I've had someone be busy, but like they told me they were already gonna be busy, just like you did today. You were like, "Hey, I might have this other thing."
Yeah. I'm waiting.
And I
to
respect
hear.
the fuck. I don't care about that at all. But yeah, people love doing that here.
I mean,
and we gotta get back to like the hanging out with people.
Oh, totally. There is the whole like, just like, the other person canceled.
Yeah.
The other person canceled.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have to go to
yeah.
Venice or whatever.
Yeah.
And then but like, are you a plan guy? Like, do you love like going?
Newly.
I mean, I'm good on my word. I don't really cancel.
No, and I'm not really late. Like if I'm late, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the past, I might have been worse and not realized it. In my youth, maybe a little worse.
Sure.
But I feel like I'm pretty on time for. I was, you know what I mean? I feel like I walked up before it was like our time.
You were right on time.
Yeah. Well, and Ryan had helped me with that too. Ryan Stout was like, dude, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna walk or take the bus. And he goes, we could drive you. I was like, yeah, let's just do that. But yeah, I start to make plans. And my best friend ever, Briggs, is like, he always like, I feel like he like also like guy. It's cool to have a friend that like, I feel like I don't give him any good advice. I not just because he knows shit. Like I don't know what to say that he doesn't already know. And he would be like, one thing I've been doing is just like, let's get something on the books because we can always change it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get something down.
Yeah.
And while I was in LA, I knew that. And I've been trying to be better of like coordinating. Like today I hung out with Ryan and Aaron. And I had coordinated between both of them, like what day works for you, what day works for you. Because also sometimes you leave that up to other people and then you show up and you're like, why are we at this place? You're like, because you didn't fucking message anybody. And I'm like, you got to help with the plans. But yeah, that sucks when people cancel on you. But I do think, yeah, I think it's good to like Irish goodbye, all this stuff. But if you cancel plans, if you really have something come up, that's fine. But like, I do think that's still like a kind of like not cool, right?
I don't love it. And that's why I'm so careful about confirming something.
Yeah.
And honestly, once I confirm, the only way I'm going to cancel is if I book something.
Yeah.
Like, and it's even with like, oh, I'm supposed to do a bar show. I got booked on a paid gig. And I tell them like, I'm so sorry. I got booked on a paid gig. Like, I have to. And so, like, I do not cancel. But that's why I'm so careful about saying yes to things.
That's
because
good.
I follow through on what I say.
Oh, yeah. I lied the other day in the dog park. Woman was like, oh, yeah, I have this salon and we have, like, an event tomorrow. And I go, that's so cool. She was like, yeah, you could stop by. And I was like, what? And I wrote it down. It's in my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like... And then what's crazy, I wanted her to, I don't know why but it's like a lie. And I think I'm doing good. And then later I'm like, especially now I feel like a psycho. I was like, I might get my hair cut. I told her I was like, yeah, I might come in and get my hair cut. It's like a salon.
It's a salon.
Yes. She was like,
but you have no intention of cutting your hair.
I kind of do, but I also know I have no money in my bank account, so I can't.
Was there not a deal for this party?
There is. There. She was like, "We're doing haircuts." I even asked, and I was like, I gave her the whole
She's
thing.
Like $400 instead of $800.
And what's crazy is once I'm in, I'm like, okay. Like I walked into a pizza joint the other day, and I was like, "How much for a slice?" Because it didn't say.
Oh God.
And
market price.
It was like $4 or $5, and I was because I was on my way to McDonald's. I was like somewhere cheaper. And he's like, it's like $5. And I was like, I almost bought it. And it took everything in me to like I was like, no, thank you. He was like, no, you could also get a whole pizza. I was like, no.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. But I was like, I feel like I was going to get my wallet out and start swiping. I'm trying to be better about because I don't care when someone makes me feel uncomfortable. If someone goes, no.
Yeah.
I don't care. But for some reason, I think that my world's going to collapse if I piss someone off. I'm trying to get better about it.
You know where I struggle, and this is such a double-edged sword because I love flea markets and pop up like farmers markets.
Oh, and you feel like you have to support them.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are going homeless tonight if I do not buy this whipped feta.
Oh my God, my mom needs bracelets. She's never worn a bracelet like this. I'm about to buy her a bracelet made of the fucking grass.
Oh my God, you walk in, you're the only one in their booth. Let me know if you need help with that.
How much is this pepper? Twice as much as the store.
Yum 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 yum.
Can't wait to
yum,
eat
yum,
it.
Yum,
and then you cut it up, and my roommate was like, "How's that pepper?" I'm like, "Shut up, dude." Yeah, same as all the other peppers,
dude.
Eggs are better. Eggs are better at a farmer's market.
Sure.
There are things you can get, but then also, like, it's not the whole thing.
This is the thing. I don't care what the stuff is.
Yes.
I just feel it's been put on me to make sure these people are alive next week.
I'm not even kidding. This is not a thing I do where I'm pitching us a show. I have an idea for us. We do things that like feel uncomfortable for like cash prizes. Like, can you make it all the way? You can't do you have to like walk through and no one can like notice you? Can you walk through a whole farmer's market without smiling at the people as you don't like look because you feel bad? You like don't look at their, but like shit like that. Just have someone walk through and just be like,
but the problem is I
have to smile.
Only half of the population will feel this because the other half don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah,
how they're perceived.
That's true. Yeah, like people who like their dog is like fucking biting you like in the dick.
Yeah,
like,
and they're
hey,
just like,
they're like, there's no
oh, they're
like
friendly.
That. Yeah. Just
like,
drink.
He drew blood.
Yeah, I'm drinking an IPA, so I'm pretty cool. My dog couldn't be biting you. I'm so awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad. I love that you put a finger on that, and I knew exactly. Like I feel like I have to buy stuff too, and then as I go through, I also like when I'm carrying stuff, and you see people who haven't bought stuff, you're like,
wow,
fuck you.
Just seeing samples, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Wait, how did we get to there?
That's the whole point.
I'm also discombobulated. Wait, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm discombobulated.
Yeah. How you said that sounds like we took a pill and you're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I'm fucking discombobulated.
Dude, I am fucking discombobbed out of my mind, dude. That makes me feel good. That's where we're at. I have no goal of this, but I want it. Like, it's like, I feel like I'll talk to people whether they have ADHD or don't. And like, we kind of go down like rabbit holes and like, we always have these good conversations. Like even when I showed up, we could have been done with the episode if I would just record it as soon as I've been here. Cause it's always fun catching up like that. But I will specifically go in corners and watch people who are so good in conversation. And I fucked their day up so much that they're like, hang on, what were we talking about? And they're like so poignant. And I'm like, I know, it's like a disease, but it's fun.
You're giving people the experience of having ADHD.
Yeah.
Which is,
dude, I'm fucking discombobulated.
No one knew we needed it. We might not.
Yeah.
And yet here it is.
It just like being on mushrooms or something like that. As soon as it hits, you're like, I don't like it. Or some people are like, I don't mind it.
Well, it's funny because like, yeah, you do want to be articulate. And if you do this a lot, you want to like gather things and like put pins in things, but then it's like you've led me through the woods with a fucking thing across my eyes, turned me around 4 times and been like, go free.
The first episode with my buddy Jeremy Essig, we were like, and he goes, I'll get back to that, and I was like re-listening, and I go, we never did.
Never.
But that's fun. If people want to hear the full story, they could be like, hey, what was the rest of that? Who cares? But we were talking at the beginning about not giving your energy to other people.
Oh my God.
Which I feel like people talk about the moon, whatever. I don't know, whatever. The moon does pull on the fucking like ocean, so that affects us. So I do always feel like I don't know if I don't really fuck with like astrology and stuff, but I think we all go through motions similarly. Like I think that like sometimes there's a group thing that's felt, and I think right now maybe I'm wrong, but everyone's kind of like, hey, I want to go lay down and like fucking not be around anybody. Like you be around people, even if you're an introvert or extrovert or whatever. Do you feel that at all?
Well, like when you talk about astrology and stuff, I think about crystals and that whole thing. And did you roll your eyes?
No.
Not a great start, Robbie.
I closed my eyes and then rolled them as to not to be as rude as I could. I've dated enough, talked to girl enough, and I'm like rolling over in crystals in bed, like and I'm like, oh, it didn't tell you that was gonna hurt. Like, so listen, but I held them. They were in my pocket. I get it. I talk about it in my I get that they're cool or weird, but the moon's the only one I like. The crystals, like they're just fucking
this
cool.
Is the thing.
Go ahead. I'll set my mic down and try
the crystals. No, please pick your mic up.
I want to try to listen.
The crystals, I think, and I agree with you that it's like, oh, this blah blah blah. You're so stressed out.
I'm trying to focus because I don't want to go off.
It's like they set an intention. So it's just like if you choose to see that money's all around you, you will start seeing change on the ground. You'll start seeing crumpled up dollar bills in a bush. You'll start to see money coming into you. But it's just like if you're not thinking about that, you don't see those things. So if you're like, this fucking stone makes me find love or open to love, it's on your brain, and your brain's like, I have a mission. I'm going to accomplish it. Fuck that dude.
I agree. That's the part of it that I like. That's always the thing, because I am respectful of it. The only reason I've been rolling my eyes is because like also with the working on myself is when things annoy me, they kind of like really don't.
Yeah.
But then later I'm like, no, it kind of does. So I'm just trying to tap into feeling that, like to being like, I feel uncomfortable talking about like that I don't like that. But even with my ex, we did. Like we would try, I'd be like, can I tell you what I like and don't like about that? And she would kind of say the same thing. She'd be like, these are the intentions I set. And it's like, I respect all of that.
Yeah.
I respect that time, space, and everything. But I also feel like if we're going to talk about something, it's like, you got to be able to talk about like both sides. So I appreciate when someone says that they're like, they just might work for me. But whenever you talk to someone that they're like, no, mediums are real or something, you're like, yeah, but could you see that maybe they're a trick? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, I'm trying to come your way, but you're not coming my way. That's the only it's just because it's we don't know. Like there's been no proof or anything.
Sure.
So since we're talking about it, it's like talking about religion. Like if we're gonna talk about it, let's be respectful, or whatever, and not like we don't have to be respectful. You can be like, "Fuck you, I love crystals," but like
I don't.
I used to hold them in my pocket. I think that there is an intention, but I don't think that they are. Do you think that they are magic?
Well, no, in the sense that like if you put a rose quartz under my bed without me knowing it.
Yeah.
That fucker is not going to do anything.
You're right.
That's what I believe.
Right.
But if I were like, I'm on a mission to open my heart more. Mm-hmm. And then I look up that, oh, this stone it's a heart chakra.
Right.
But like I'm doing all this work around opening up my heart.
You're right.
I think it's a great reminder that I come home every day and I see this beautiful stone and I go, like, take a deep breath, open my heart. You know, if I don't, you know, it's just like a trigger, like a good trigger.
You're right. I think it is. And that's because, like, for me, when people, like, I'll tell people that I'm like, well, I'm not Catholic anymore. But when I was a kid, it's weird to be like I don't have kids, but if I did, I was like, what would I do? What would like spiritual religious thing or whatever?
Would you teach them?
Well, just because like you want to give them a little bit of freedom, but also like the world's scary.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid, it is a little nice to walk in like a dark room and to be like, Jesus has me or whatever. Like, so you know what I mean? To be like, Jesus is like, I shouldn't be scared because like there's someone with you.
Oh, sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's nice. Those are the things that I like from it. And that's what I get from like positive speech, like speaking positive about yourself.
Yeah.
Or having a crystal or a good intention.
Sure.
Like,
positive vibes versus.
Stuff, yes.
There's so much negative in the world.
Yeah.
Why not see the positive?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny to hear you say like the Catholic Church was like comforting to you.
Just in that respect. The only thing that when I look back, I can't shit all over all of it. That's the only part that I really felt good. Like good morals too, but like to be like, okay, someone's here, like someone's watching out for me a little bit. That feels nice.
See, I saw it as a very like under his eye thing. Like what, like Santa's looking for the naughty kids. Like it felt very like not really here to just like be your best friend. It was like, don't fucking touch yourself, you little gay kid.
Right, but if I may, because I want to talk about that. I'm thinking when I'm like little, like before puberty, like when you're just like that's I'm talking about being little. But what
God.
But that was actually that was when my like slow departure happened because like I remember they're very quickly, because I have a joke that like I'm not gonna do, but where I say God's gay, and it's my favorite new joke to do, because I'm like, he invented dicks, like all these things he made, and then it's like he made
invented dicks.
And
That's
the
funny.
new part I want to add is that I've never done it yet, but I was like, then he's like, he's so gay that he made other gay people. He's like, whoops, kill him. Like he's like, just me.
That's
and it's like,
so funny.
And it's like I'm having fun with that idea, because when I was younger, I remember them, like the first thing that happened was that they were like, oh, being gay is wrong. And then when I got to high school, I remember like thinking that, but I also like was nice to people. I even knew if someone stole, they're not bad. You're supposed to still like love the person or whatever. That somehow got through like at my church. But then whenever it came to like the homophobia and stuff, I remember that I met the first gay kid I met in high school was this guy, Josh. And they were like, he was the first openly gay kid I met.
Yeah.
So I've probably met, you know what I mean? You met other gay kids.
Yeah.
But he was the first openly gay kid I met. And because like I'd been taught that, but we were in Spanish class and he was like so fucking funny. I was literally just like, well, that can't be true. Like you kind of just are like, I'm going to get rid of that. And I did feel the watchful eye thing. So I feel bad that like you had that too, because I would jerk off and I'm like, oh no. Like
Sure.
you really did. So then eventually it did switch, but that's whenever you start to like put things together to be like, that's probably why this is all stupid. But tell me about that. I want to know what that felt like, because that has to be terrible to be like, because I didn't want to jerk off, but also like once I did, I was like, I'm going at it. And especially
So I had jumped ship completely by the time I was jerking off, but it was more
like the first time you're like, by God.
I mean, before that even, I think I jumped ship when I had to go to PSR, public school religion class.
I did after I left, and after 6th grade or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, no, this was like before that.
Well, I went to Catholic school.
Oh,
That's
got it.
I did PSR too. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so probably in 2nd grade, my guinea pig died, and I asked a nun who was teaching the class PSR, which PS I hated going to, because it was a like a Tuesday night for like an hour and a half, like going to some stuffy like private school to be taught about God and stuff.
Yes.
Anyway, she said my guinea pig was not going to heaven, and I was like, I remember clearly being like, fuck you, dude.
Yes.
I'm so out. Like my guinea pig was nothing but sweet. Like the fact that you don't think it's going to heaven, huge problem for me.
At PSR nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because that's like weird to like to not like, because that's what's weird about lying is like sometimes whenever I talk, like you, and you know Rafe too. Rafe said this about me. He goes, Bobby talks so fast, you know he's not lying. And like I actually will, like, as I tell a story, will make it more boring because I'm like Tuesday. I feel so weird about lying. But what's weird is that like I'm trying to learn now what you should learn as a kid, that like there are different kinds of lies. And especially when you're a kid, oh my God, your guinea pig is not only in heaven, there's like a special heaven.
Yeah.
Just like, and then they're like, we got to tell you that, but Santa's real.
Yeah.
And Jesus, it's like, you're already feeding this lie. Why would you do that? And I feel like that person is like, throughout the whole PSR, they're even religious. Like, you think that these people are godly people. The people in that world are some of the, I'm not trying to sound like it was awful, but some of those teachers that you're like, I went to public school and they were great. Catholic school teachers that were like, you little fucker.
Horrible.
Like, the woman who taught us about sex ed was the oldest woman, the oldest teacher at our school. And she pointed like this, and you're like, she's using her middle finger to point. And she's like, all right, guys, we're learning about sex education. So either put your heads down or whatever. But I'm reading from this book. And you're like, she's like, the testicles. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And it's like, that whole world sucks. Like, people don't know. It wasn't all bad. I don't like to say nothing is all bad.
Sure.
But
but
that part of it.
I wish Christians would act more quote unquote Christian. It's crazy. I love the principles.
Yes.
Like love thy neighbor.
Yes.
No, it's like,
yes.
Again, Jesus hung out with like prostitutes and people.
No one talks about that.
Yeah, I mean, just
his best friend. He's like, she's so good at doing this that she hangs out with me. She is like off time.
And I should say sex workers, but I meant back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've talked to some sex workers who also, they're like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like there's a lot of things where they're like, I don't care, but I also try to say it too. Because whenever you say, like, especially if we go, I'm like, let's go to a strip club, and I'm like, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, it's like which don't you think that should just be legal? Don't you think being able to like sex work should just be like at a hostel or whatever? Like,
it's called the oldest job in the world or whatever.
Yes.
Oldest job in history.
I think would it stop gun violence completely, maybe?
It just, for sure.
Do you think if a guy was mad and instead of like buying an AK-47, he could like have sex with someone that is like, you're the prettiest person I've ever seen?
Yeah. Yeah, or get jerked off like in a separate room somewhere at 7-Eleven.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a quick buck. I might sit back there and jerk some dicks.
Yeah, just to like
$50 a pop or something.
So kids aren't scared in school anymore.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm down for you. Yeah. I'll jerk off. If
we're signing you up.
I'll do it for the country or whatever.
Yeah, don't send me to war. Send me to the jerk off booth.
Oh God. Yeah, that would definitely make a lot of guys who are like, I wouldn't do for $1 million, and they're like, okay, but you're about to go to Iraq. He's like, oh,
okay, I could touch some.
How
dicks.
hot is it there?
I could, yeah.
I can touch it. Could you give me? I could be the best today. I swear to God. But no. That's the feeling that, and I don't want to stick on this because I feel like this is like most people know how this is, but like I just think that we got on that thing of like it does suck to think that something's looking bad on you or whatever, but like that you have your own. I think finding your own morals is important in anything.
Of course,
comedy. Being religious, like whatever, like I'm even learning that like I'll talk to friends and they're like, I'm not a bad person, but like, do I have to do this at my job? And you're like, yeah, because that's like that's like how you pay for stuff. And like if it hurts people, no. But if you have to do that thing at your job to like get it, I
What's
can't even
the
think
thing
of a good
at your
example.
job? Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good
Not
example.
baking a cake for a gay person? Is that what we're talking about?
Not at all. I don't even have a good example. I don't even have a good example, but I'm like, just making your own morals. I think making your own morals, but without hurting somebody. Yeah, like that's crazy.
So I think that's what you're talking about, raising kids, and what you would tell them, lean on morals.
Yeah.
Be like, we are honest. You know, we look out for people. We treat others how the golden rule, treat others how you'd be treated.
Yes.
You make space for people. You protect yourself. You know what I mean? Like there are so many beautiful lessons in religion that you could pluck and use it as parameters for a kid's growth.
Well, and there's cool things about learning how to break the rules because like no one's parents are perfect, and I have some weird things, but I will give my parents credit where it's due. Where like my dad, when I was younger, I remember coming home and be like, so this old lady taught us about sex ed, and she said I could ask you questions. He was like, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh God.
And so I was like, so semen? And he was like, Joe, no. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, they say you might not last long. I was like, why don't you hold it in? He's like, it's not like peeing on somebody. I was like, I got no help. But then later, I remember somehow he just like knew to say this, which was nice. He was like, somehow we were talking about it. And he was like, hey, just so you know, you don't have to like wait till you're married to have sex. Like maybe like,
oh good.
If you love someone, maybe, which it's like what, and even that can be interesting too, because then it puts so much pressure on a thing that like, I think we should live in a society that doesn't make sex so weird, because I feel like I just feel like I don't know. It's just weird. It just doesn't make sense.
It's basically one of the tenets of my stand up, because I would like to be funny, sex positive, or make people like feel good in general.
Yeah.
And like sex is like, it's wild to me that we all engage in it in one way or another.
Yes.
We all ingest it.
Yes.
And yet we still clutch our pearls, or like your dad, oh, semen. That should not be a crazy conversation to have with your child. Be like, yeah, like you'll notice changes in your body, and like it's crazy, but your penis is gonna get hard.
Yeah.
And then if you like touch it, stuff's gonna come out.
You want to know something crazy? You
What?
just made me remember this. My dad, when I was a kid, he's like, we're not talking about that. And then he did say that nice thing. But then one time, and I was a little bit older, but I don't remember how. I was still living at home, and I'm at like young.
Yeah.
I don't remember how 15, 16, 17. And he just goes, God, you mean your mom are not having sex? And I was like, I remember being like, that's rough, man. I don't even know if I've had sex yet. You know what I mean? Like, so it's weird that he's like, I can't talk about it. But then he's like, can we talk about the grossest sex you never want to see in your life?
Your dad's a little ass backwards. I hope he doesn't listen to the pod. But
he definitely won't. I don't think. No.
What?
No, I don't know. That's whatever. Who cares?
No, let's drag your dad for a minute.
No. We were saying like that thing. I was saying like I feel like stones like sink their way to the bottom. And my dad is a guy that like we are not close. We haven't talked in a while. But when people are like, "Oh, I saw your dad the other day," I'm like, "Okay, have a relationship with him." My ex, I don't want people to not be friends with him. Even friends that I'm not like.
If you hang out with her, you're betraying me.
Why would that is so controlling, and that's the thing. That's what my dad kind of did that a lot. I felt like that religiously and stuff as you start to grow up, and I don't like feeling controlled.
Oh,
so I just try not to put that into the world at all.
That's beautiful. There's a whole let them
of course
theory where it's like, oh, they want to cancel plans, they want to do something else, let them.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to call you back. They just let them do what they're going to do.
Yes.
Don't beg them, don't plead, don't insist yourself upon things. Like just let let it go. Like, let it happen.
I did. It's funny you say that because it just happened. I had a couple of things, like a meeting with someone, just coffee with another person, and this other thing, and one forgot, one like was like both forgot, and then like someone had to like cancel or whatever. But it did bum me out. I hate when people are like, "Well, you shouldn't." I go, "I can't help how I feel."
No, and you
I
should
can only
feel
help
it.
Exactly. And I was like, and I felt it, but then I was like, but then I react to it. Like me and my ex when we were together. And I feel like I wish there was a better term because like ex sounds so negative, and even though we're not friends, she was like a lovely person to be with. So I don't like that negative connotation.
Partner.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, my last partner. But I guess that feels like they died. I don't know, like my last. I don't. No, that doesn't. That feels better. I'm gonna try last partner. And so my last partner, and then eventually you're like my third to last partner. They're all nice. You know what I mean? Like eventually get my junior partner.
My associate. Yeah.
Oh man, twice removed. And so there's something about like this thing that happened one time where we were at the comedy club, and this was when we were coming out of the pandemic and we hadn't been there in forever. And there was comics backstage who I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring my girlfriend back." And they're attractive dudes. And I just came back and I was like, "Hey, it's my girlfriend." And they were like, they saw me and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna bring your girlfriend back?" I'm gonna like, okay, cool. And then she comes back and like Danielle's she is and always was like a beautiful person.
Yeah.
She's just, when she comes in, she's a very beautiful human. And when she came in, the room was like, oh, like they literally were like, "What's up?" And they wanted to like say what's up. And I wanted her to have that. And as we left, I go, "Oh my God," I go, I can't help this, but I feel really jealous right now. And she goes, "Oh my God, did I do something?" I go, No, I'm not mad at you. I just want to tell you how I feel so that I can like have this thing turned into like the cocoon go away and go to work. I want to get it. And as soon as I told her I felt better, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't want to make you feel that way." I go, You didn't. But that's the thing is I go, I'm telling you because I'm trusting you to know that like this is how I feel, but don't ever change how you feel. When we were together, I'm not trying to brag, but like I just know guys are controlling. And like I don't know if I could be in an open, I don't know what could happen. But when we were together, I go, you know the difference between flirting and cheating. And I almost want to, everyone has this like toying line. I'm like, let's let that be it. If you're kissing someone, yeah, I think that's cheating.
Yeah, but
if you're dancing
flirting
with someone,
and cheating are very different, aren't they?
That's how I've always felt. But I told her this because I feel like I've talked to a girl once where I was like, "We're having so much fun. Can I get your number?" And all of a sudden she was like, "I have a boyfriend, whatever." And I told Danielle that story, and I was like, "Don't ever feel like that. Like if I'm not there and you want to dance with a guy, I'm not going to be mad." And I literally meant it because one time I showed up and this like kind of young, tall, good-looking dude saw him like dancing up to her, and I was going to go up and I go, "Oh." And I go to the bar and I start ordering and I'm watching it. I was kind of excited because I was like, I wonder what she's going to do. I was like, and I knew she loved me. I wasn't nervous at all. And I wasn't like cuck. It wasn't like a cuck thing. I was just like, let's see what happens. And I see them talking.
Like Jane Goodall now watching two
yes
gorillas in the wild.
Yes. And yeah, totally. Because also in this situation, when I met Danielle, I had like a girl told me, "Hey, bring a girl next time." I was like, okay. Like I had a lot of good setups, but this girl, I was like, and that's what Jane Goodall did. That's what I meant. She like left a relationship to be like, "I'm studying these apes."
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that's what I'm doing. I don't care. You can go and do whatever. And I see them talk, and all of a sudden I just see her look and give like this thing of something like, "Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend." I'm like, "Ah!" And I literally see him like dance back into the crowd. And I was like, I walk up, I go, "I think you broke that guy's heart." She was like, "No, it was whatever. He needed to go away anyways." I was like, all right. But like, that's the world I want to live in because I also don't like cheating, even if it's someone else. If like a girl likes me and they're with someone, like I'm not like whatever.
Yeah,
like,
like,
I am
let's like make this work.
I am turned off by cheating. It's like such a turn off to me.
Yeah, that's great. And the whole thing is like, it all depends on what the state of your relationship is.
Yes.
Because if you love and respect and trust your partner, yeah, they can dance either in front of you or on a night out with the girls. But like, you know that they're going to be honest with you.
Yes.
If and when they think they've crossed the line. Like I was dancing with this guy, I could feel his erection on the back of my lower back, and I still like I danced into it.
Yeah, who cares?
But it's like, tell me. Like don't let me see it in a fucking Instagram story from your friend maybe later.
Yeah, and that's how I honestly feel like that's what I like. I like honesty because to me, if you're honest with me, even if like you're like, "I really like this guy," whatever, I'm like, okay, well we can figure that out. But when my big thing is like if I'm being vulnerable, like, I just hate feeling excluded. That makes me makes me revert, and I can't put my finger on it, but like I just feel excluded. So if you're cheating on me, that's how I feel. But if you're like, "Oh, I don't like you anymore," or whatever, and I know I'm not trying to make breaking up easy. I'm just saying that like you don't have to be scared of like talks, and that's where I always come from, like, or whatever. But that's how I feel. But we don't always have to talk about this, dude. So you ride motorcycles, eh? No, dude,
seamless segue.
Seamless. I can't believe you. You're like, I had a motorcycle for 9 years. I'm like, how have we never talked about this? Because I even rode one when I was out here last time, the time before.
Yeah, I've had a car since 2018, but the first 9 years I was in LA, I had a motorcycle because when I first went to LA, I had like a Vespa, and someone ran into it in the middle of the night. I came out and it was just shattered, and so my roommate, who I was in love with at the time, had a car and a motorcycle, and he was like, "Let's get you a motorcycle. I'll teach you how to ride it." And I was like, "And then we'll ride off into the sunset together."
And which. Pretty cool. Two motorcycles. Sorry, I hope you get that one day. You deserve that. I'll ride into the sunset with you.
There you go.
I mean, but like, fuck, that's a cool. Oh.
Yeah. And this guy and I had a sexual relationship, so I was just waiting for either the shoe to drop, and it didn't ever drop. And so then I had a motorcycle, and I knew how to ride it, and so I just rode a motorcycle for 9 years.
Oh my God. That's what's funny is that like people like, that's funny because like when I would skateboard, I would think it would impress girls, but like they're like, I don't care. But if you're like, oh, I like motorcycles and you like motorcycles, I'll learn how to do this for you, and it'll bring us together, and then afterwards you're like, I'm still fucking doing this. Like that's cool.
I mean, it was a very gay way to get to riding motorcycles.
Yeah. But which is weird because it's like a lot of straight guys. It's like very in straight cultures, like, yeah, motorcycle.
Oh my God.
So that would make so many guys mad. They're like, oh, you guys got hogs, and you're like, we sure do. And they're like, okay.
We do.
Yeah.
We had to have motorcycle Sundays where we'd like ride into the Los Angeles mountains and stuff, and legit met Jay Leno at one of these.
Shut up.
Because he was like,
and he's like,
out.
I actually like cloth better.
Yeah, basically. We have a picture. It's so funny.
I want to see that. That's awesome. Please send me. That is awesome.
Yeah, is that crazy?
And I'm not trying to make plans for you later. If you don't send it to me, I can picture it. But like,
I'll send it. If I can find it, I'll send it.
When you ran into him, did you say hi?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, was he wearing all denim? It seems like the only thing he wears.
I think denim, but I think a leather jacket.
But okay, so cool. It's not like he was in like a white, like a fucking.
No.
I was gonna say wife beater, and I was like, oh, I'll get canceled for saying the only way I know that those things are called. What are they? Tank tops.
Tank tops.
Tank tops with the specific tank top that everyone knows.
That domestic abusers wear.
That's okay. So we're saying the same thing. Takes forever.
No, I mean honestly, it should have. I mean, it should have a different name. I like don't want to pivot to like being anti-woke, and I'm not anti-woke, obviously.
But you're a lot. What's cool is that you're. Oh man, you like. Just the world we live in, and I'm not trying to say that it's like I'm not trying to be like we have different leverage, but is that rude to say that when you're gay that you can almost be a little bit more like I feel like you guys get to be
saying that.
Yeah, or be anti-woke, like you're like whatever, because then like if I do it, everyone's like you're a bad guy.
Well, yeah, okay, listen,
this is kind of so it's cool. I'm like, go ahead, but don't
straight cis white guy.
Sure am,
which is
love it. Give me that pussy.
You know what's so funny?
But I also did tell you, I loved all the dicks in your apartment and all the dick art. So I'm like flamboyant.
You're a total ally. But it's so funny. You guys are simultaneously at the bottom and top of the heap.
Sure.
It's like the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed happen. Yes. But so you guys are still fully in control.
No. I'm not.
But like also we're like, you shouldn't be.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at my producer's not here. Hey, can you cut this so I don't look like I'm trying to seem like a victim right now? What I'm trying to do is triumph you. And I did that to someone the other day, and they're like, "You complaining about being a white guy?" I'm like, No. I was trying to lift you up. I'm actually kind of getting underwater. I was like, whatever. No. See, again, no. I'm fine. I'm so fine. I'm great. I got dirt. I got motorcycles. No. I just love whenever I hear that because I'm not saying I don't want offensive. I don't love edgelord. I don't like that shit. I just like whenever I hear people be like, "Can we say can we just say the truth or things or whatever?" Like, yeah, don't be. It's like when someone's like, "Oh, you didn't like me that homophobic joke." I go, "No," because I remember hearing it. My uncle say it when I was 5.
Yeah,
it's like just not funny.
There's a straight comic. God, I want to say his name so bad, but he had like an AIDS Magic Johnson joke, and I was like, this probably wasn't even funny in 1994.
Right, that's it.
Why are you
If you have an age, whatever, like there's even stuff that would like
hit me with it.
If someone like we were talking about, like suicide's a thing that like it's pretty close to home with me. But if you want to do material about it, or if you want to talk about whatever, and I have a different opinion, I'm always just like, okay, and unless what you say is literally attacking someone, I think it's the only time I'm like, and I think we're growing to a better society. Young people are cool. Young people have a better handle on it than we do, because like I'll get scared to say stuff, but they'll just be like, hey, I know I saw someone the other day go, I am so sorry. I just misgendered you and I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, it's all cool. It was just, it was so fast because they were just like, yep, was an asshole. Whereas like people our age and a little older are like, blah. How could I be bad? I have 2 trucks.
Yeah.
How could I be bad? I have a kid. I have a dad. I'm a dad.
I have a daughter.
So I'm a good guy. And look how hot my daughter is, right? Like, it's like, so anyways, but no, please keep, I'm just saying that like, I go to the anti-woke thing. I made it all about me, which fuck.
No, this is the Bobby pod.
Yeah, but
all Bobby all the time.
I get canceled from my own podcast.
No,
it's tiring.
No, it's just that I'm particularly frustrated in that like, there's like, anti-queer and there's races. There's
fuck.
What? Oh, did it stop?
It did stop. No, but I can still see my levels. Where is it? Oh fuck. Hold on. Let me see.
It might still be going.
I think it. Sorry, I just got. This is. Could you see how good this is? This is how much fun I'm having. I'm like, are we still going? We're
totally going. Now you might have to. Where are we at? I mean, in like 40. Okay. Cool. So there's so much like horrible legislation that's like being passed, and like or people are trying to pass, like, can't we focus on that? And like, why are we arguing? Yes,
I always say with the left.
The left,
sorry, please.
We eat our own.
Yes.
We tear down because you're not progressive enough.
Yes.
And it's like, just can we please not put up in like prison camps for gay people like in the next 10 years?
Yes.
I'm just using gay because I'm gay. But it frustrates me.
Right. I feel the same way because what I'll say is,
but we're also cis white guys, so it's like,
no, for sure,
with a grain of salt, take this.
But the point, I still want to, like, on our side, like I think what our side is, like I want to win this too. So even whenever I be like, when I am like, this sucks, I also want to be able to voice my opinion. Like whenever we went to like right after they overturned Roe v. Wade, we went to a rally, and I was like, I told all the girls I was with, because my friend was like, who I live with, Liz. She was like, hey, will you drive us downtown? I was like, of course, absolutely. And I brought like all the waters. I had like sunscreen. Everyone was like kind of making fun of me. They're like, you're overdoing it. And then later they're like, can I get some of that sunscreen?
Yeah.
And on the way there, they're like, Bobby, for real, like, thanks for driving. I go, oh, it's the only thing we could do for like taking all your rights away. You know what I mean? But like, there's something about like that they were like, we were there and they're together, and they could just be like, yeah, you should drive us, because like, and I'm like, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
And I say this, and me and Ryan were talking about this, and he says that he does, I shouldn't put this on him because I might be saying it incorrectly, but like even the right is a little divided now by certain things.
Very.
Like some of them are
the
like,
right's
I don't think
never been more
divided.
Yeah.
But I feel like the only thing I'll say about them is that
band together.
They will band together. Where, like you said, we will eat our own. Where I'm like, can't we get over all these little things? Because that's like, it's gonna bring people over quicker. And I want to live in a better world. Like, even though I don't want to have kids, that's not what you do it for. Like, I want to live in a better world and see it before I die.
For me.
Yes, exactly. And I guess that's narcissistic.
It's no, it's not.
Yeah. But no, I think that's cool. I like hearing you say that, because it's to be like, it's, and I'm not like that too. I'm like, we can't say anything. I'm like, no, you'll say it, but I also like, if I can't say stuff, I don't care.
But like, and that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Oh, like, no, 2 gender, like 3 gender. It's like, babe, take a deep breath.
I love you.
If you can learn sports stats, you can learn they.
Yes.
And like, it doesn't.
Rafe has a funny joke about that I won't butcher. So many people have good jokes about it.
About you.
Not about you at all.
And I think that should be a whole, like, when people want to change legislation or whatever, like, how does this affect you, sir?
Yes.
Like, why do you care? Talk to me about why you care.
And it's like, because they don't, and it's like to not like to live in a world where you don't like that things like oppose your views, which like I've been to areas that are super Republican, and when I'm walking around, I'm not like, fuck every bit of this. I'm like, oh, this is a cool small ass guitar shop, and you go inside and it's nice. And I'm not saying all of that is nice, but why can't we try to see that it's like us versus, like, I don't know, laws that are going against us, how hard it is to get food and the water.
Oh, yeah.
It's us versus them. It's like the government sucks.
It comes down to like an education thing, I think.
Yes, I've been talking about that a lot with friends that are way more educated than me. And like I got good grades, but we weren't like educated when I was a kid. And it's like that's something you have to like really try to do. So like I have conversations more because when I read, I literally am like, what am I doing on Instagram? Like it's bad, but like I like to talk to people who I trust and talk to other people, and then you kind of like I form my opinion on what my friends say. Yeah, a little bit. But I also I really do that thing you said about free thought, trying to find that and stuff too. And it's just cool that a lot of people I think are having that, because that's the biggest thing. Is it's like you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but also you don't want to leave people out. Sometimes being too nice can be weird too, and I don't have a good example for that, so I don't know why I'm saying that.
I was dying to hear how being too nice leaves people out.
Sometimes I feel left out. I've been in LA. There's been a couple places that are not. Who cares? We'll say a park nearby or whatever, and people are like very off-putting. But you're just like, "Hi, how are you? What do you do?" And everyone thinks you want something for them. And my buddy's fiance the other day was like, "People probably think you're trying to fuck them." I'm like, that is so not my vibe that I'm trying to put off. And that sucks that that's how it's received.
I mean,
so it's like sometimes being too nice sucks.
You kind of look like a fuck boy.
I know.
Okay.
And I fuck.
But you also look.
Yeah.
You also look very LA.
Thank you. I feel for sure. I've been having fun. Like I feel like it's fun having long hair, just being this new thing. But I also think that like I know how I come off. Like when I meet people, if they're like Bobby's a lot, I'm not like, you're wrong. I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, you're right. Yeah, I am. I can be a lot. So like, I get that, but that's sometimes being too nice. People are like, I get this guy wants something. I'm like, I want friendship and I want to feel good.
Sure.
But like, I even told you when I came out to LA this last time, I was like, I didn't ask anyone for spots or anything. I just hit up my friends. And I was like, let's record a podcast. Let's do something like that. Yeah. So thanks for doing this. This is great.
Of course.
We're really covering all the fucking bases.
We're covering a lot of religion.
Yes.
Politics. We're actually talking about all the things you are not supposed to like talk about.
Yeah, we are.
With friends at least.
So let's talk about how cool your fucking apartment is. No, you do have a beautiful place. This feels very healthy in here. But you've always been more healthy than I was. And when we talk, I always relate to you because I feel healthy, but I'm like, yeah, I'm like getting fucked up. You're like, I don't drink it all anymore. I'm like, yeah, me neither, even though it's like I do. But I get being, whatever. But I do think we both have like a positive vibe that it's like, it's nice being around you. It's always, even when you come back to St. Louis, it's nice getting that text when you're like, hey, I want to see STL royalty.
Yeah.
And I also, because of your brother, or not your brother, your cousin Todd Towers.
Yeah.
He is how we met, because isn't that how he was like, hey, you came to St. Louis, and he was like, hey, do you know any comics? And we did a show, I think first at the comic book store.
Yeah.
And I brought you on stage as Zach Noe Towers.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Noe.
That'll happen until the day I die.
And then you never corrected me when I was like, why do people keep saying Noe? And you
it's
go,
like
that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
feel stupid?
No, I know what you're going to say. Let's go.
No, I mean, I don't. A rose by any other name would smell sweet. Yes. I don't care.
I don't either. Like, it's just like whenever people, like, if they're like, your name's Bobby, could I call you Robert? But any of them, the one I like the least is Robbie. It just doesn't feel like me. But if someone calls me Robbie, I'm not going to be like, what?
Do people get Bobby Jaycox wrong?
No, there's just, so I can be Robert, Bobby, Robbie.
Okay.
It's like, and some friends call me Bob, some people call me Bobby. But if someone calls me Robbie, that just doesn't. If someone
Bobby
Jaycox
right. is a great name.
So, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. People think I'm saying forever. This never happened that I noticed, and now people will like write my name down as like Bobby J. Cox, and it makes me mad because they think I'm such a dick.
Okay, I have a middle name, so careful.
But you say the name, but I think the period kind of makes it like, hey, you're not gonna get all of it, but here's a little bit of like.
Okay, I want to see you saying that to Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I would just change my opinion in front of him. I would just lie.
I love initials.
Yeah. And then I would be like, show me how you work out. And I would throw up. That guy is so in shape.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching that movie, and I know that's kind of the point, but as soon as you're like, he's the bad guy, you're like, He's like, I mean, I don't want, I mean, it's been out
talking
forever.
about Creed for a second. I was like,
no, I don't watch like fighty movies.
The same.
Yeah, I'm not like, I will watch like them eventually. There's certain ones I like if the story's good, but I'm not like a UFC. The other night I was at the store, and I was hanging out with my new friend Daherm, comic from around here, so funny. We were hanging out, and all of a sudden he goes, dude, every comic's trying to get a picture of this guy. And he goes, dude, that's John Jones. And I go, I can see him. I go, who is that? Oh, you know. I would have lost, like, if my mom's life was on the line, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I have no guess. And he goes, oh, he's a UFC fighter. And I go, oh, really? He's like, yeah, he's like one of the all-time best.
I only know because they put them on like billboards and stuff here.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So
I think they do where I'm
there.
from too. And I like kind of followed. I went to I went to high school, the same where Michael Chandler went, where he's like a UFC guy. So I kind of follow it because I'm like, go, man. You know what I mean? Like there's something about that. But I know nothing about like that world.
I also feel like straight male comics like wrestling.
Not me.
Okay.
Well, I wrestled for 2 days and a guy broke my leg and then I stopped. Yeah. Oh
my God.
Broke my tip. Yeah, bad. It's all good.
Like in a slam thing?
No,
or
like so
a slow crunch.
So in the a twist.
Ugh.
Sorry, you asked. It was
Yeah.
it was it was like a twisted.
McTwist?
A McTwist. It was McTwisted up. He really fucked up my leg. And I'll never I just remembered that whenever the guy was holding my leg up, which is like, he should never have been doing that. My dad should have told him that. But the guy's holding my leg, and I remember I was like, my foot sideways. And I remember this dad was holding my foot, and he goes, sorry, but I got to switch my foot. It really hurts. And I swear to God. And I just remember being like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Crazy.
Just put my foot down and
Step
go
up,
away.
Don.
But yeah, but I did like wrestling, and like when I was a kid, I liked wrestling, but like I don't like I'm not like into it. I opened for Mick Foley, and he was incredible, but I got something signed like for my cousin, like because I knew it meant something to him because we liked it when we were a kid. But no, I don't like that. I watched sports I went to with Tina and Rafe, my buddy Briggs. Their teams were playing each other, the Browns and the fucking KC Chiefs. This was years ago, different team. And they were like, let's go to a game. And I'm like going for them. Like I wore like in between colors. I'm like, I'm on no one's side. But like I can have fun watching. I played football in high school, but I'm just like, I don't really care about sports. Like stand up for me is the thing I'm into. And then if there's a thing I'm extra into, which is like, everyone's like, well, I hang out with Story of the Year, but like I'm into like I know their songs. I like that. But those are like the things I like is stand up in that. And like I like scary movies, but like
I like scary movies.
Yes. But I'm not like my buddy watches sports. Are you like any of that? Do you wrestling? None of that. I don't know any of that shit.
I think rugby is very sexy.
I think hockey is fucking cool. Yeah, I think there's sports that are cool, but do you follow them?
No.
That's all I'm saying. I'll go dude, I would go with you to a rugby game, but I would also go with someone to a tennis match, even though I could give a flying fuck about that.
Yeah.
Like I heard Travis Barker, I think, he was like, yeah, I would just like Tom DeLonge wanted to look at UFOs, so I'd be like, I'll look for you. You're my friend, so I can do something someone else does and truly have fun.
So,
because I have so few things I like.
Languages is quality time.
Is that what that is?
Probably.
Totally. That's mine. Yes.
You don't care what you're doing. It's like who you're with.
Like whenever people are like, where do you want to eat? I literally don't care.
You're like,
I might have something I prefer,
but like it's not going to sway you.
The time is what I like.
Yeah, and quality time.
Totally.
You're
helping me.
Yeah, dude. This is a very like this house is all about like thinking about why we do things.
Yes.
Yeah. Scary movies. Have you seen any good ones recently?
So I always go back. I will always tell you my all-time. It's my favorite, but it's my favorite in a way that I would never. I don't think it's the best scary movie.
That's fine. You don't have to qualify.
Only because whenever I was, but I also watched it all the time. And whenever, like, if a girl would come over when I was like still living at home, and you would like you're like fooling around, but like barely. I remember I'd be like, you're like, what movie you want to watch? And if they're like, you pick, I'd be like, I love Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah, on the bus. It's great. It's great.
Awesome.
High death count.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. They even like, you get this thing because it's like Justin Long is in it. And then I remember watching it and being like, I got to see the first one because I saw that one first, I think.
Stop.
And the first one is good, but I just like the second one more. I don't know why. It always appealed to me. Like, I know why, but I'm saying like I don't know why other movies didn't as much as this one. But I remember like how they're on the bus, how scared, like whenever he's like, look how light this thing is, man. And it takes his head off.
Yeah.
I like, cause I like gore that I like whenever it's like, it's coming. Oh, there it is.
It's like action gore.
Yes. That's what I like.
Or action horror.
Yeah. Action horror. That's what I like. And I like the gore. I love psychological ones, but if I was ever going to make horror movies, which I feel like everyone wants to do, you were in one, right? Weren't you in a horror movie? There was something to do with a horror movie.
So I have a feature that's now at its third production company, and they're trying to get it made.
I can't wait. I remember you posting about stuff because
it's like a horror comedy.
Wasn't that when you were in the hot tub a lot? When you were shooting that, weren't you like? There was a place where you were staying. I remember you'd be like, "Just shot." And we're like in a hot tub.
So I'm not in that. We shot the opening scene to a scary movie that me and my friend are writing, and it's almost like it's almost done being edited and stuff. So it'll hopefully play at festivals and stuff.
Well, I want to see that. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that like Nope, all these new, it's like there's something like horror is kind of coming back, because for years it was like it kind of got forgotten about. Like you'd watch Insidious and that one part is so scary,
sure,
but other parts, but like yeah, so that's one of my favorites. And then of recent, one of my favorites, oh, it's fucking hard to pick. Oh, it's hard. I will say that I do think when I saw Hereditary, I put it on to go to sleep because I was like, it's probably gonna be stupid.
Oh my God, you fall asleep to scary movies?
Not that one.
No.
not fucking no way.
That's ballsy in general. Like the last thing your subconscious is picking up on is like someone being decapitated.
Oh, I smoke so much weed. I haven't dreamt in 20 years, like or whatever. Yeah, like no, I do dream sometimes, but like for me, I kind of thought it was gonna be okay, and it seemed like it was gonna be really artsy. I just wasn't. I underestimated the living fuck out of that movie.
Yeah,
not everyone
intense.
loves it, but yeah, that's one of my favorites. So I was like holding my head.
The little girl's death scene is one of the most unsettling, and him going just to bed, and then you hearing, "I'm gonna go to the store," and then the screams. I can't even fathom.
And how that movie ends, I like being scared. But when a movie makes you feel sick in a way, like you got food poisoning that you've never had before.
Sure.
I don't like that feeling, but it's like a roller coaster. It's like I love when you're like, what is the fuck is going on with that?
Did you see Barbarian?
Dude, that movie's I liked Hereditary a little more, but I don't know because it fucked me up, but I love Barbarian, especially because did you do the thing where you're like, did I fucking switch movies?
Oh, I know. Boo, 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 boo. He's singing on the 405 or
Justin
whatever.
Long, baby.
Or PCH.
Yes.
I could not believe how good that movie was.
I couldn't either. And I think everyone thought because he played it that it's been out long enough. We can talk about it with whatever. But you're like,
he's the bad guy.
You think he's the bad guy. Then he's not. Then you're scared on a level you've never thought about. Yeah. And then they make you feel like you're in that basement. And then that woman is so disgusting.
Played by an improv actor, man.
Good. Thank God bless. Yeah. Oh, it's a man?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that wrong? I'm just kidding. I don't know. You better get in trouble. No, I don't care.
Female roles should go to real hideous females.
Yeah. That should go to my grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my grandma's a beautiful woman.
Down to her belly button.
But yeah, I love that Barbarian was
so good.
And even the things they do at the end, and
I loved it.
I felt like it played like aggressive piano. Like it was like everything that you want is not going to happen, and it's not going to. You can't anticipate it. No, yeah, not at all. What other horror movies do you like?
Well, I just saw a psychological thriller on Netflix called Run, Rabbit, Run. Did you watch Succession?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay. Shiv Roy, the redheaded daughter, the girl.
Oh,
the woman,
yeah.
She's a mom in it, and her sister disappeared when she was 7, and now this woman's daughter is turning 7, and she's starting to say that she's her sister.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's like really, it fucks with your head.
Oh yeah, I like that. It is, especially when you can see a new way to fuck with your head. Like I remember seeing Saw the first time it came out as a kid.
My God.
My dad came downstairs, and I guess my girlfriend had called the house phone, and all of a sudden my dad goes, "Hey, your girlfriend's on the phone." I was like, "Yeah, right." He was like, "I swear to God, this girl's calling for you." And I was like, I didn't want to talk on the phone. I just wanted to hear like whatever. But yeah, I loved. Did you like scaring people when you were a kid?
I don't like being scared in real life. That said, I did, of course, scare people.
Me neither. That's why it's like defensive.
Oh, I don't. The worst thing you can do to me is like if we're staying in an Airbnb for the weekend and I go outside to do something and I come back in and you're nowhere.
Yes.
And you're hiding somewhere.
Yes.
I'll fucking set the place on fire and leave you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, then, yeah, you would kill me. But because I would never invade your privacy. But when you know someone well enough, and if I would, like I said, wouldn't do this to you, but like, oh God, if I got home before someone, hiding behind a thing. I used to scare my mom so much. Like when your mom cusses at you in that moment, that's how you know that they're like, they love you completely, but like nothing's 100%.
No,
like
yeah.
Nothing. Like she would kill you on accident and be
you.
like, you fucking shouldn't scare me. But when I was a kid, and this isn't important, but like I feel like you might appreciate this. So my cousin, who, when he came out as gay, was so scared to tell my dad. I came out as gay for him to my dad.
You said you were gay?
No. I know it's hard to. I think it's confusing.
You said he was. Gay.
I was because he was like, I can't tell your dad. He told me to. I didn't out him. Please don't. No, he asked. I go,
yeah.
I think you should tell him. And he goes,
will you tell him?
because he told our whole family. Like, he called me excited, and I was like with my girlfriend at the time, and she's, I guess, was homophobic, which is funny because her brother ended up doing drag, and it was awesome. I messaged him years later because everyone was.
Is
his
the
whole family was
brother
weird.
not gay? It's a straight drag.
No,
queen?
he's gay for sure.
Okay,
Came out
yeah.
gay, dressed dragon, but they were always like very staunch, like fuck that
Good.
shit. Of course, that's what you get when you let your heart win. You know, whatever. I don't know. Fucking have fun, dude.
Yeah.
And they were always like, whatever. But I did that, and he asked me to, and it was a hard thing because my dad's like, well, at the time was like, he's not coming to Christmas. I go, I won't be there either. I didn't know you felt this way. And he's like, well, I raised you. You shouldn't feel like that. Now my dad, on a lot of
tolerates
accounts, a lot of
people
on a lot better scale. There's a lot on whatever. It's not to get. I'm not trying to shit on him, but I'm saying that this cousin that I've always been there for so long when we were kids would scare me so fucking hard that I would do it to other people. And when we would be together, I'd be like, let's scare our other cousin, just because I wanted to be on the other side of it. Because this motherfucker would scare me. I would come over to his house and I'd be like, Mom, can I please spend the night? She goes, no, because their mom has to go to work and you're going to get home and he's going to scare you and you're going to have me come pick you up and I can't leave work. And I
That's
go, no,
so
we won't.
funny.
And his mom would leave. And all of a sudden I'd be like, Andrew. And I swear to God, he'd be like, yes. And I'd be like, we were in Chicago and they had like, it was the first time I saw all access TV.
Yeah.
And we were there and I was like, this is so scary. We're staying in an apartment at my aunt's house. I'd never been to Chicago before. I was a little kid.
Wait, what's all access TV? It's scary.
Oh, no. You know, it's like when anyone can put anything on it.
Oh.
It's like, you have to submit it, but it's like all access TV.
Oh, got
like,
it.
So someone put something on there, it was just like trippy stuff.
Sure.
And we found this. And I was like, whoa,
What
it's like
is
Homer Simpson
this?
melting. It's like
Sure.
all these colors, like Adult Swim stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. And I remember being like this. I go, hey, Andrew, are you? And I turned and he did that thing that I can do where you can flip your eyelids inside out. And I screamed so hard, and I like told my aunt, I was like, you have to take me back to St. Louis. Like, I was like, you have to take me home. So this guy terrorized me. So then I would scare people as like a defense mechanism.
Sure.
Oh, I scared a girl once so hard
That's
that
trickle
she
down.
went to, yeah, she's like, I'm going to go home. She cried. I was like, I'm sorry. But like, I didn't, and I wouldn't do it like, your family's dead. Like I was just I like the pop scare.
Yeah,
That's my favorite scare.
The worst.
You drop ice cream.
The worst.
Oh, it's so I hate when people do it to me.
Yeah.
And then when I lived with my old roommate, I would come in and like I just walk through rooms fast, I guess. But he'd be like, I didn't know you were home. I'm like, I live here. I'm not trying to scare you.
I had a roommate like that, and I'd be like, hey.
Yes.
But even when I tried to warn him,
Yeah.
he would like startle.
Right.
I'm like, what do I do?
Right. And I'm not like trying to sound like cool, but like I do get startled, but it's very rare. And
Yeah.
the person has to be trying to jump out. Or you come around the corner at the same time and you didn't know they were home.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't care about that. I love a good pop scare. Oh my God. I would love if I was like Ellen right now and there was someone behind you that scared the fuck out of you. Which I know they say she's bad backstage, and I'm not just saying this because we're talking about gay culture. But goddamn, I always loved Ellen. Like there was other guys at like the firehouse that'd be like, dude, I like, do you want to watch Ellen? I'm like, yeah, bro.
She played her part.
Yeah.
Had everyone fooled.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I honestly like was like even whenever it happened,
You're like,
everyone I'm like,
not
let me read into it.
not my
I was like,
Ellen.
I literally was like, this can't be true.
This can't be true.
This can't be true. She's so funny, but it's getting warm in here. I have had so much fun talking to you. I want to be able to put this on.
Same.
Thank you for doing this.
Of course.
If there's anything you want me to cut out, especially the part where we were talking about how cool it is to be white and we can say whatever we want.
You know what? I mean, honestly, I don't think we crossed the line.
I honestly don't either. There is a feeling I have in my heart when that's whenever I feel bad, is if I know I crossed the line.
Yeah.
And I think people know that. That's like that internal thing where I'm like, yeah, and it's pretty accurate. Like I've never had someone be like, you hurt my feel. Like in any conversations or even after shows, if I get one time the club manager goes, Bobby, they said they complained to go, oh my God, did I hurt their feelings? He goes, no, they just said that you were like, said fuck too many times. I go,
Oh.
I did.
Be like,
Yeah.
For them.
Before we go, have I ever told you about that? I've gotten, someone thought I was you one time.
Oh my God. Wait, this sounds familiar, but say it again.
It's so I'm so excited I thought about this because I forgot. So I'm leaving a club one time that I'm performing at.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, great show. We saw you like 2 weeks ago. And I go, where at? And he goes, here. I go, oh, I wasn't here. And he goes, yeah, you were. And I had short hair. He goes, yeah, you were. You were just here. And I can't remember who you were opening for, but they go, yeah, you were just here. And I go, and I like looked and I was like, I think Zach was just here. And I go, was it this guy? They go, yeah. I go, oh no. That's my gay friend. At first, the rest are like, yeah, we thought that was you. We thought you were gay. You're not still gay. We just saw your whole act.
Gay?
Yeah. You seem very gay. I was like, whatever. But I've gotten that my whole life, and I don't mind. And I don't like. I honestly, someone called me flamboyant, and I was like, I am. Like, I feel like it's fun. Like,
it's great.
Yeah, it's great. But I had to tell you that.
I love that.
I think I have told you that before.
What a compliment to both of us.
So, for sure. I was like, it was definitely a compliment because you've always had a glow to your skin because you stopped drinking, and I always am like, I burped the other day in a car, and everyone in the car rolled their window down.
No,
not a lie,
Bobby,
not a lie, and I literally wanted to cry, so I like joked my way out of it. I was like, oh man, it's probably the weed I smoked. I didn't really eat anything. I guess that's just how my throat smells. I wanted to die.
Probably how my throat smells.
Like I literally kept saying sorry.
That was not it. That was not what you were supposed to say.
I don't remember what I said because I wanted to disappear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I get really in my head. Anyway, yeah, let's just keep going. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for coming on, Zach. I love you.
Love you too.
You're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Anything you want to promote? This will probably come out in a couple weeks. Do you have anything upcoming you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm headlining Zanies in Chicago September 7th through 9th.
Go there because Zanies also rules.
Zanies is great.
Zanies is so fun.
I think I did it last summer.
Yeah.
And it was just like basically sold out.
Yes.
Crowds. It was so much fun.
Yes, everyone there, the management, everyone. Lucy is so sweet.
Yes.
When me and Danielle had broken up, I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna get out of town. Like, we're fine. Like, I know. Let's talk about this. You sleep here by yourself. I'm gonna like leave." And she was like, "All right." So I was like, "I'm gonna go." And I was like, Chicago or Nashville. Went to Nashville, stayed at my buddies, and the next day was like, "Hey, I'm in town." I was like, "We've met before. I worked your club before a long time ago. I just want to come watch a show." And she was like, "Which one do you want?" And she got me tickets to see a show. It was like sold out to see Bobcat, but I had worked with them before, didn't ask to say hi or anything. And she was just like, had a spot for me, made sure I felt like at home. So it's like, that's important because you've gone to clubs where they don't care.
Yeah.
And it's cool when they extra care.
Yeah.
And it's like that, whatever. Like
yeah.
I've just driven through just to go see shows and just like been like, I will, as a comic, I'll be like, can I get on that guest list? But if not, that's fine. But I just like to support, and I'm not like, yeah, you seem the same way where you're not like, can I get something from this? You're just like, let's just hang.
Like,
but
hey.
Go see you at Zanies. I fucking love that club. September, say it again.
7th through 9th.
7th through the 9th, awesome. And After Hours
with
with Zach Noe Towers.
On Netflix is a joke radio, which is on Sirius XM channel 93.
Gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
Love
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Oh, that fucking...